No, I don't. We learned we do not have to wait.
There's nobody here.
Yeah, well, that doesn't matter. You just look like an idiot talking to yourself then. See, we've been live for 6 seconds and you've sat here and told me to stop. I don't like when it does that. That's when I start to question whether we're actually here or not.
We live.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Erin Lucas is live now.
Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah, I am. And this is Jordan. Really, I mean, Jordan does the bulk of this whole thing. I couldn't even figure out how to get it to go onto this, so it really should just be Jordan's name first on everything.
Yeah.
Like, I've literally started tagging you in the event.
I did see that. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know if you wanted your name out there or, like, on the internet officially with my followers or not. Because there's been some doozy followers lately. I'll tell you, America, right-wing America found me again.
Oh no.
And the part of Canada that doesn't like me. They found me on a video where I talked about Nickelback. And my mom...
Oh, I saw the video.
Yeah. And my mom and I were talking about it when I was at home in Saskatchewan a couple weeks ago. Because she hadn't seen it. And I told her, I said, you've got to go read the comments, Mom. Like, it says there's over 400 comments on it. But, like, you can only read, like, 17 or 18 because I had to just block so many people that were just, like, too far. Like, their comments were too far. And then I was at the point, like, sending it a little bit too far because I was, like, I started telling people to, like, S their dad's D's and stuff like that. It's like, well.
There are times where I go through your social media.
You can tell what kind of day I'm having.
Yeah, but there are times where I'm like, look, what you're saying is not wrong, but what you're saying is also not helping the situation whatsoever.
There's a little bit of fire.
And I'm not saying you're wrong for doing it because these people that it's not.
They shouldn't be doing it, but
exactly. Yeah, like it's that old thing. Like if I can teach my 11-year-old son that two wrongs don't make a right, then at some point, like as adults in the world that we're living in, that has to come into play. Two wrongs don't make a right.
I have so many things I want to say, but they all start with "but."
No, because and I said you're right in what you're doing. Like you're not wrong, and what the internet's just accessible.
But this is why I'm going to say I'm right.
Shake.
Oh yeah.
You gotta shake that up.
I can't now.
No, you can't. The best thing you could do. Oh yeah. Yeah, those Caesar ones, they're so good, but I always forget to shake them, so then I go get a glass and pour it, so at least it...
Oh, well...
Because everything just sits on the bottom.
I don't have anything in here that I... Oh, I have, like, I could empty that icy square container.
Yeah.
But that's not big enough.
Well, it's been good.
Yeah. You want an icy square?
No, I'm good, thanks. We talked about those last time I was here. Right?
Yeah, and then actually my dad bought me like a giant bag for my birthday.
And didn't you post about how expensive they actually were? Like it's ridiculous.
He was like, he paid $11 for like a bag of icy
chocolates.
Yeah. And that's like there's still some.
I mean, I guess that's what you get for like Lindt or like the Lindor or whatever, right? Like they're like that.
Like there's a whole Lindor store. Like Lindor has a store, right? Like
eggs are like $12. They're supposed to be going down, but they're.
You don't even want to see how expired the eggs are in my fridge. Like, I'm just like, whatever. We're gonna use them.
It's funny. It's the one thing where I was like coming into town, I'm like, I just, like, can we just not talk anything political whatsoever? Like, I'm sick of talking about Wayne Gretzky. I'm sick of talking, even, I love the Four Nations Cup. Like, as a sports fan and a hockey fan, it's great. But it's just, it was so frustrating to see it become so political.
Yeah.
Because that was the break that everybody needed from everything being so political as a sports fan anyway. Yeah. And then it somehow turned political.
Yeah.
I was like, can we just be done with this stuff for just a bit?
Because that's where the real, like, booing of the national anthem and stuff started, wasn't it? Or was that, had that started kind of before?
It started before. See, now we're talking political.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
It started before when all the 51st state stuff started. So it started a few NHL games before that tournament, but then that tournament's when it really ramped up with the fights at the start of the Canada-USA game and then them meeting in the final. And
I didn't follow that at all, the Four Rings.
Four Nations Cup.
Yeah.
Four rings?
That's not the Lord of the Rings.
One ring shy of the Olympic Games.
One ring to rule them all. I don't know. I like with even with like fantasy hockey, like right up until Christmas, I was like fuck yeah, like hockey's great, like everything's going awesome, and then it was like a light switch. I'm done. I am done with ice sports and winter.
It is a long season, and if you don't really care about it,
yeah,
I can see that.
And then it was like, okay, now we're all of a sudden taking 3 weeks off for some bullshit ring tournament.
It was awesome. It's not a ring tournament.
Just get
Four Nations Cup.
Do they do that every year?
No, it's new.
Yeah, like
they're going to do it every second year now,
well,
and then every other second year will be the Olympics because they're going back to the Olympics with NHL players.
Ugh,
We've talked way too much hockey already too.
This is none of this was planned. None of anything was really planned. I had a great idea
for tonight.
I'm talking to
everybody else,
the outside folk. Yeah, you kiboshed my great idea immediately.
It was a horrible idea. It was creative, but I didn't like it.
It's fair. If it was going to make you sick,
yeah,
it could have been good. But I understand. There's a difference between funny sick and, like, I understand it would have made you painful sick.
Yeah.
Because I get that same pain from drinking too much beer.
Yeah.
And wine.
I get chest pains if I have anything that's, like, hard alcohol with sweets. Not like bad chest pains, but just like it feels like heartburn or some sort of.
So Jordan always brings beer, and I always just have like a grab bag of like whatever. It's like weed drinks, Monster Energy, Red Bull, pop, carbonated water.
5 different beverages, and you like through the night you're on to all of them.
Yeah,
like it's a sip of water, then a sip of one, a sip of the other. Yeah.
But I actually made a point of going to the liquor store today and getting like all alcoholic beverages, except for one Monster Energy that I've been saving since the Swift Current co-op gas station. When I stopped on the way home, Monsters are always like 2 for whatever. Yeah. So I got
Every
2.
Gas station has their deal.
And then my water, of course. So I thought we could just mix all my drinks and Jordan's drinks together, and then just do like a grab bag, and like whoever gets whatever drink, that's what they drink. But Jordan didn't want to drink.
I don't want chest pains today.
Yeah. 3 of my drinks are like vodka mixed drinks. Vodka, 2 are Tahiti treats, and 1 is a Arizona hard iced tea. And
it just doesn't. I don't know.
There's medication for that, you know. Like I take a pill every morning that controls my reflux. Yeah, I am old.
We're both there. Yeah.
Like I'm on blood pressure medication. I take acid reflux medication every morning before I brush my teeth.
It's
I am on a pill calendar that gets delivered.
I went to the doctor a couple weeks ago, and I hadn't had a checkup in a while, but I went because I was having some issues. And like basically, the doctor's really professional, really good, but he kind of was just like, "Yeah, you're just kind of older now." Like. There's that. Who is it?
Because you're 40.
Yeah. What was it? Louis C.K. used to do that bit where he's like, my ankle hurts, so I went to the doctor, and he's like, yeah, like you're just old now. Like that's what you like. It's just gonna hurt.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what that's kind of what he said to me.
It's like, is there
better?
a recovery, or is it just like, do you learn to live with it?
You can do things that make it hurt less, but it's just going to hurt.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt way more when it's cold outside.
Yeah. I did something to my right ankle. Don't even know when, but it just like kind of comes and goes. It hurts on and off. We got a trampoline last summer, and I was like, frig, yeah, I'm going to jump on the trampoline when my son asks me to. So I jumped on the trampoline with him. It was totally fine. The next day, I was like, I needed friggin' crutches. Like, I was like, forgot about that old ankle injury. And then completely forgot about it again. Walked around Egg Expo Thursday afternoon. By the end of the afternoon, like supper time, I was limping. It was like, I walked. Walking.
So can we talk about the Egg Expo video for a bit? Because that's when you're, like, the one I saw you posted on your account is like, it's your shot of your feet.
Yeah.
And you're like walking just on the mat, right?
Yeah.
So, look,
that video was way longer, but I looked drunk.
I don't want to say anything that's like mean because like we're friends. I don't want to hurt your feelings. Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
What the fuck was on your feet?
Oh, they're just like my.
Like I don't know if it's the angle you were shooting, but they look like clown shoes. Like they look like they're this big.
Well,
I'm like, what is
they're
she
big.
doing?
They're like just big, like fleece lined, like tie up.
Like, are they super puffy?
They're like knockoff Timberlands.
Okay, I'm trying to think of what that is in my head right now.
Well, you'll see them at the top of the stairs.
Like they just like I was
Sure,
like,
I'll Google
they look like clown shoes.
You fuck right off.
No,
And then,
I'm
like-
sure. I'm sure if I see them in
Yeah.
person, but I think it's just the way you were filming down.
Yeah.
But it
Now I'm googling Tim Allen. What the hell?
said we're not getting political tonight.
Oh wait, I'm saying Timbaland, but I realize it's Timberland.
Timbaland's the artist
I'm typing Timbaland.
with Nelly
yeah.
Furtado and was it Justin Timberlake? He had songs
Yes.
with both of them, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Promiscuous Girl was the one with Nelly Furtado. That's a good song.
they are. I
Got it.
won name that tune at a bar one time.
With that song?
That was the final song.
Somebody type that into the chat, please, because I want to add it to my Spotify list later, and I'll forget.
They were like knockoff.
Okay.
Those. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the angle you were filming.
Probably.
It just, they looked like just super wide.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Plus, I walk like a circus clown. I can't walk really in a straight line. I learned that from having to walk really, really slow with a camera person in front of me. I have, I think, an inner ear problem. I'm going to blame it on, like an inner ear balance or something.
You can't work on that. You're just old, so it's just that's
Yeah.
the way it is now.
Yeah. I mean, I taught gymnastics. I used to be able to walk on a balance beam.
Could you?
I used to be able to. Now I can't even walk down a sidewalk.
Could you like cartwheel on a beam? Were you that level gymnast? Like you know,
No,
like,
'cause I
or,
was
like
always too
hands,
scared.
whatever it is. Like
Yeah.
that.
I could do it on a
terrifies me.
line on the floor, but I was too scared to do it
On
if
the
that was
beam.
raised.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, because if one hand miss, your face is smashing
Yeah.
into the beam or the ground.
Yeah.
Gymnastics is one of those things. I'll be honest, I was very risk averse as a child. Like, to the point where, like, I knew how to ride a bike, but, like, I didn't like it. I didn't like going down hills.
Yeah.
Like, I was better on rollerblades because I played hockey, and, like, it's more directly tied to my body. Like, I can't control everything a bike does, you know? Like, that's how I felt about it.
What?
I mean, I can, but, like, it's, you know, like, there's a lot more going on
Yeah.
there. But, like, gymnastics in school, like, even doing the vault and stuff, like, I'm going to smash my knee on that thing
Yeah.
if I don't jump high enough. I did not like doing really anything in gymnastics.
Yeah, it can be pretty tough. Do you want to know one of the funniest things that I did when I was actually a coach? And it was just like, I don't know how I didn't get fired afterwards. You know, those videos where you see like a grown up jump onto like the big puffy mat and then like a kid goes flying.
Yeah.
I did that, but like jumping off, you know, like the rope that you climb.
Yeah.
I jumped off that onto the big puffy mat, but the girl was watching me demonstrate something,
Yeah.
and then I jumped down, and she just fucking whoop
How high up the rope were you?
high enough to launch a 12-year-old.
If you had to guess, how high were you?
I don't know. I just like probably high off the mat. I was probably only 3 or 4 feet.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Because I was going to be like, I'm impressed you can climb a rope that high. Like, your upper body strength to get, like, I
like that is a fair statement because like I even then lacked upper body
could,
strength.
like, I've never had upper body strength.
Yeah.
So I am impressed by anybody who can get more than 5 feet up that rope.
Back then, like doing like the double bars was one of my favorite parts of gymnastics.
Like the
Like
parallel
the
bars?
parallel, the off center
Oh.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are those called? Unparallel bars? Is that what it is?
Maybe.
I hope my daughter doesn't want to get into gymnastics.
It's one of the
can't
cheaper
go
ones.
for that.
I feel like that's one I'll support. If any of my kids want to get into soccer, for
Yeah.
sure.
Sustenance
Baseball.
and dance.
Yeah, costumes. That's a lot.
Yeah. And I mean, this was her first year.
Yeah.
Or this is her first year,
Yeah.
and like they did one.
I heard that she absolutely loves
She
it.
loves it.
Yeah.
She's so happy to go. She's the exact opposite of everyone in our house.
I know she
none
is,
of
like,
us wanna
nobody
leave
else
the
is like
house.
that.
Nobody wants to go be social anywhere. Even our son. Like, I'm so happy with our son
Yeah.
because he does not want to go anywhere
Yeah.
ever at all.
Mhm.
Like, neither do Tina and I.
Yeah.
Cecily wants to go everywhere all of the
Yeah.
time. Like, and she's in dance, and now she was watching a show on Netflix, and it's a figure skating show, and now she wants to do figure skating, and she wants to do both.
Yeah. Yeah, for as long as I can remember, even like when she was very, very first little,
Yeah.
coming over, when I'm used to Declan, Cecily was just like right next to me on the couch, like touching.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, whoa, this is not a car household.
She takes after both dogs. She's like, I want to see everybody. Oh, Bubba, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gunner's definitely a car.
Yeah, Gunner's a cars. Which is funny, because Gunner's our least favorite dog. Like, you love both dogs. Right? Just like you love both kids, but you got a favorite, right? Everybody's got a favorite. Nobody wants to admit it. Everybody's got their favorite.
That's true. Mine changes.
Oh, yeah, it definitely changes.
Yeah.
And you're, like, Cecily's my favorite for some things. Declan's my favorite for... Like, Declan doesn't want to leave the house. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Cecily's outgoing. I love that.
Yeah.
Time and a place for each of those situations.
Yeah, like I love that my son just wants to like hunker down and watch movies and like, yeah, I'll fucking have a pajama day, buddy.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And then my daughter, she is me to a T, and I just want to burn myself at the cross. How did I do? Oh, uneven bars.
Yeah.
Hey, I think that's what I called it. Oh no, you called it unparalleled.
I called it unparalleled, but because there's the parallel.
Yeah, I don't remember what I
it makes
called it.
sense that they do that, but
uneven. I might have called it something with a D. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, Navy's my favorite because I like when she likes to do like girl things. No, Nash is my favorite when he likes to hunker like just that. And then Navy, I went and said a shitty thing about Navy, so I gotta say a good one.
That's true.
She likes to do like the girly things.
Yeah.
Like Navy is obsessed with Taylor Swift, and
oh really?
Yes, and now that she knows Taylor isn't on tour anymore, and she has like a Taylor Swift T-shirt, and I had said one time about how myself and my sister went and saw Taylor at the Calgary Stampede like a million years ago, and so now that's Navy's like new focus is when Taylor's not busy, because Navy wants Taylor to come to preschool or to daycare. And I'm always like, well, she's really, really busy. And then now that she's not on tour anymore, he was like, well, she's not busy now, Mom. Like, why isn't she coming? And I'm just like, how do I keep telling this, like, little child, I'm just breaking her heart every day. It's not even my fault.
I think what you have to do is try and make it happen.
I tweeted to Taylor Swift, and I was like,
somebody tagged her in this video.
Yeah, it was like,
She's not doing
me.
anything.
Yeah.
Tell Travis to come too.
Well, that guy's not doing anything either.
I'll show up at Navy's school that day and talk to Travis.
Yeah, so I changed it from like, so okay, well, she's too busy, she can't come to daycare. So then it somehow shifted to, well, now Navy and I are going to see her in concert, and Navy's going to wear that T-shirt that she has now. And it's always like, well, when are we going?
By the time Taylor's back on tour, that T-shirt will not fit.
I know.
That's the problem.
I know.
That's the problem.
She's just like, she's so laser focused
like
me.
So, is she into like just the Taylor Swift thing, or like does she like her music?
She loves her music. Like she sings the songs to the best of her ability. She can pick out a Taylor song on the radio.
That's awesome.
She can pick out all the Taylor songs, and then like she'll hear like a Demi Lovato or an Ariana Grande, and she'll be like, "Is this Taylor Swift?" But then she'll hear like fucking super bass, and she'll be like, "Is this Taylor Swift?" And be like, "No, this is Nicki Minaj." Like just like experiencing this whole other side of pop music to my daughter.
So it's funny because how old's Navy now?
She's 5.
So she's 5, and she's got an understanding not only of who Taylor Swift is, but what her music is.
Yeah.
My son Declan is going to be 11.
Yeah.
We went for a dump run this morning, and he came with me, and we were talking about music, because it's one thing, like, I was around his age when I really started to focus in on music. Like, you get to that age, and then you start to, listen to your own stuff and understand a little bit of what your parents are playing all the time and everything. So I was asking him, like, because I put on an old, like, Much Music Spotify playlist.
Okay, yeah.
So all, like, the good old stuff, right?
Yes.
And I was like, what kind of music are you into? And he's like, I think because you listen to mostly country, I like a lot of country. He's like, I like Hardy. I like Eminem. And, like, that was the same, like, country was Hardy and Eminem. I was like, well, Eminem's rap.
That's amazing.
And he's like, well, I'm like, no, not well. Like,
there's no blurred line there.
No, Eminem is rap. Like, if you want to say, okay, some of his stuff crosses into pop, okay, but Eminem is not country.
No.
Well, Dad listens to country music, and he listens to Hardy and Eminem, so it must be country. Like,
that's so cute.
It was so, I was like, it was funny at first, but then I was almost, like, frustrated. I'm like, no, like, don't argue this point. Like, you're nowhere near an expert on it.
You don't know what you're talking about.
You just said Eminem was country.
Oh, that's cute.
It was, but a little frustrating.
Oh.
But it is, like, I was talking to somebody the other day, and it's just so weird from, like, the things that have changed from when we grew up to what happens now. Like, I grew up living much further away from my school than Declan is. Like, Declan is 2.5 blocks from his school. He's in grade 5. We don't let Declan walk to and from school.
Yeah.
Like, Tina drops him off, one of us picks him up.
Yeah.
Granted, he's got Cecily with him, so, you know, she's a little bit younger. But still, if it was just Declan, I think we'd be doing the exact same thing. I walked to school, no problem.
Oh, yeah.
I also lived in a town that had 7,000 people.
Yeah.
And we're over 100,000 in Lethbridge.
Right.
I mean, but the time is so different. Like, there's just no way I would let him walk to school.
No, and, like, the kids ask all the time if, you know, like, they're going to be able to ride their bikes to school. Are we going to be able to walk to school? Can we take the bus to school? And I'm just like, the answer to all three of those somehow is no.
Yeah.
Like, we live very close to your school, and you are not doing any of those things. Like, I'll be picking you up and dropping you off.
Further, though, like, again, I walked much further to school when I was his age. I don't know if Declan could get to the school, and it's 2.5 blocks.
Oh, you don't think you don't know if he knows his way?
Well, we drive, like, you drive a different way than would be the easiest way to walk, I guess, like, normally. So
you should almost just walk with him.
I want to, and just be like, you lead the way.
If something happened and he had to walk home,
could he?
Yeah.
It would be a toss-up. I can't for certain say he couldn't, but I can't say he could either.
I don't think Declan would walk home, though, either. I think Declan would just, like, sit it out.
He'd wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cecily would whether you told her or not, Cecily would walk home.
She'd be in Saskatchewan.
She'd walk to your parents.
She'd boost a car. She'd be driving
like,
around.
I don't know, I'm going to one of my grandparents. I'm either heading north or east.
She's about to be 7. Sorry, she's about to be 7.
She's gone.
She's like, I've always said this though. Declan is he's very timid, very, you know, to himself. Cecily is so outgoing, but also so I don't give a shit.
Yeah. And
I'm so happy that my daughter, like, if I was gonna have one of each, I'm so happy my daughter is the way she is.
Yeah.
And then Declan's gonna be good the way he is. So.
We always said right from, like, when our kids were born, and, like, you can, like, almost tell their personalities very, very early on. Like, our son is going to be the one who is bailing our daughter out of every situation in her life. Like, picking her up from parties. Like, she won't call us to get out of situations. She's going to call her brother. Right.
But your daughter will also bail your son. When somebody pushes your son at school and your daughter comes from the back.
My daughter pushing my son.
Well, yes. I mean, yes, siblings are going to do that. But some kid is going to push your son.
Yeah.
And your daughter's going to come from behind just
She
charging.
Yeah.
Put him on the ground, throw a couple kicks. Yeah.
She's small, but she is fucking tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the ones you got to watch out for.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a tough little shit. Did you watch that whole? Let's jump here. Did you watch the whole SNL 50 thing? I think I asked you before, and I meant to ask you, or I didn't listen to your answer.
Yes. So we did, because Tina and I don't have cable.
Right.
So everything for us is streaming. So we had to, like, I think it popped up on Global a couple days after.
Okay.
So we streamed it there. I thought it was great. I love the concept of, like, taking all these classic skits and reimagining them with some of the original people.
Yes.
Some of the new, like, I love, like, how do you do justice to something that's been that much of an institution and had that kind of history for 50? That's the perfect way to do it.
Yeah.
Instead of going out there and trying to write all new stuff, use all the stuff that people love.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. The one thing that I am frustrated about, and maybe somebody can guide me in the right direction, was it the week before or the night before, there was a massive, 50 years of music special that was done at Radio City Music Hall in New York.
I think that was done a couple weeks before.
Yeah, I've seen clips of it. Like, I saw Post Malone come out and do the Nirvana thing, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I think I saw parts of, like, Cher performed. There's a few clips I've seen on YouTube, but I haven't seen the whole thing, and apparently it's like 4 hours long or something.
How long was the 50th?
It was
Also quite long?
I don't know how long it ran on TV. I think for us, without commercial streaming, it was around 2.5 hours. So it's probably a 3 to 3.5 hour special, I think.
I'd like to find out.
You didn't watch it?
No.
Oh.
No, because we don't have cable and we got rid of our, stack TV.
So, I will say, download the Global app and create an account. It's free. Like, you have to sign in to watch anything that's older than, I think, 2 weeks or something.
I feel like I tried to do that. Oh.
Because that's how Tina and I watch Big Brother. Because that's the one reality show we're into. So, but you have to watch within because I think after a week everything logs. So you're screwed now. But no, it was last Sunday. No,
it would be Saturday.
2 days ago.
Saturday Night Live.
They did it on Sunday night though. The big special I think was done on Sunday night. I could be wrong about that too. I could just be making that up.
I'll find out.
PirateDay.org. It's a torrent site. Do you remember the old days?
Yes, that was my it would be probably bookmarked on my old iPad upstairs.
I think it got shut. I read somewhere that it got shut down a few years ago.
There's another one that I haven't bookmarked. It's probably on my phone favorites. It's I probably still stream stuff on there every once in a while for the kids.
Still
from my iPad straight to the TV, just mirror it.
It's a weird thing where it was 15, 16 years ago, I was big on the torrent stuff, and I had, I was so up on the technology at the time where I knew what kind of file extensions to watch out for viruses and stuff, and and now I'm like, I don't want to get back into that world right now. Everything on the internet is so murky. There's no way I want to go and watch it. I would be so worried that I would be infecting my computer.
I'm just still so ignorant that I just assume going an Apple device to an Apple device is just I'm safe.
Unpenetrable?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know that it is.
We're fine.
So far.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
There's no... Oh, here we go. There's a little bit.
So, okay, speaking of the SNL 50th thing, I did, because I wrote a few things down.
Yeah.
So, favorite SNL cast member or members or, a favorite skit? Because, obviously, I started watching, I think, I have the Howard Stern Show as a subscription on YouTube.
Okay.
So, and they post stuff, and, leading into the 50th, they went back and grabbed, all their old video archives of different guests, or not guests, but, cast members that had been on, and they were all talking about their favorite skits, and they were showing clips and stuff, and then your algorithm just grabs way more SNL stuff. And
my TikTok has been great.
When Will Ferrell and Rachel Dratch were in the
hot tub?
Yeah, and Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore. Oh my God.
It's so great.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
The Lovers sketch.
Yeah. And then I think that's one of the things Tina and I watched. It was a 40-minute compilation of people breaking. And it's to look back, and I don't think I knew this up until a couple years ago, but apparently it's one of the rules of SNL is you're not supposed to break.
Well, no, any improv.
But it's funnier that you do.
Yes, of course.
But Lauren actually had the rule, because I think it was on the Carol Burnett show or something, which was around before SNL started, and Lauren was they break on that show, we're not going to on SNL.
Yeah.
And so it was an unwritten rule that you don't break as a cast member. And then I think they said the first time people remember it happening, it was Gilda Radner and Candice Bergen were in a skit. And Candice Bergen called Gilda by the wrong name in the skit, and Gilda completely broke to what's the fourth wall or whatever,
went to the
right
audience,
into the camera, and was like, and she, like making a joke, and Candice Bergen just went off behind her laughing, and that's when it started
Yeah.
not becoming acceptable, but
Yeah.
like it's the first time people remember somebody breaking,
It loosened up a little
and
bit.
it loosened up a little bit, and now it's like, to me, it's the absolute best part. I think it was the 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg did the song about breaking, and like it's
Okay, yeah.
all the clips of everybody. Like it's just, to me, that's the best. When SNL's at its best,
Yeah.
it's when the cast members who are there every week writing funny material,
Yeah.
and it's so funny they can't contain themselves.
Yeah.
That to me is the best.
I do like when they break. I remember a really, really funny sketch with Brendan Fraser, and I can't remember what the sketch was, but that's probably, I think, what sticks out to me being the first time I can, like, remember, like, that was the first sketch I remember seeing somebody break on SNL, and
Yeah.
it was like, oh my god, that is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Like, are we going back to like, it was around like Airheads?
That would be
and...
like Tarzan.
Oh, okay.
Like that. Like probably towards the end of his, like he probably just about did Mummy 2.
Yeah.
Like who probably was like signing close to that.
The cowbell sketch, like that's another one that we saw a few times in compilations over the past couple weeks, and it was just like
Where it was also
they're
where,
all breaking.
where Will Ferrell's just, I saw one where he's just like, I did not do it like that in dress
No.
rehearsal. I saw that.
I think Christopher Walken's the only one that doesn't break, and it's the like everybody else is breaking, and it cuts back to him, and he's so serious. Like, I need more cowbell, baby. And he's so serious, and it just makes it so much more
It's
fun.
great, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I like after the first couple of days after that ran, it was like all my social media platforms were just flooded with SNL, and it was perfect because I was like liking every single one of them just to like keep it going, just to dump more on. Oh, it was wonderful.
And when you are on social media and you just get this, like, it is one of the things I love about TikTok, because I feel like even though I don't want to feed into the political stuff, if you're going through Twitter and you read a tweet that is political, all of a sudden everything there.
I don't even like when I stop and I stay on a screen too long.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't, yeah.
But TikTok seems so, it just seems to know what I want, which like I know is probably part of the problem with it.
Of course, yeah.
But I do love it because like I laugh so hard on TikTok.
Yeah.
It is one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous, but it just seems like such a break. And when you get into, like, my big thing is stand-up comedy on TikTok.
Yeah.
And so when you just get, like, a row of, like, 4 or 5 videos back to back to back of just funny, like, crowd work stuff, it's just, it's just so nice to be able to sit there and laugh.
I love coming across, like, a really good comedy sketch, or like comedian on TikTok, and I was like, oh my god, I want to share this with Jordan, and I was like, of course he's probably seen it.
Yeah.
So they're very few and far between. Like, they have to be a really high caliber for me to send it to you and still assume you probably have already seen it, but I'll still send it to you in that off chance you haven't.
It was the other day, I was going through TikTok and I found 2 videos back to back that were just absolute bangers. I probably sent them to you.
Yeah.
But I also sent them to Tina. And then I was like, oh, I should go see if anybody sent me any TikToks. I went into Tina's. The last 2 videos she sent me were the 2 I literally just sent her. Like, it's, like we were so, our TikToks were so synced up that we were watching the exact same videos.
Well, there's lots of times that I have to be careful, like, too, when I send Tina, I won't send to you. Because I'm just like, she's probably in the same room and she's just going to show Jordan anyway. Like, to watch what I send both of you.
You send her the plant videos. You send
and usually animal videos, but I have to be careful. Like, I don't send you sentimental animal videos. I send her sentimental animal videos, but I'll only send each of you certain kinds of funny animal videos.
The dog compilations on TikTok are the absolute best.
Yeah.
Like, you sit there and like dogs running into windows because they don't realize like it's clean and they don't know, or it's just the dog stuff, animal stuff on TikTok is also top notch.
Yeah, I've been getting some good long compilation animal ones lately.
I do love, because at one point wasn't TikTok only a certain amount, like you could only post a video that was so long?
Well, they were only up to a minute, and then it was like
Now it's a
once they
free
got
for
to
all.
like once they got to 10 minutes, it was just like okay, that felt a little long. And then sometimes I'm sitting there watching them, and I'll look, and I'm like, how long have I been watching this movie?
Yeah.
They are very long. What happened when people used to do them in parts?
TikTok about an hour after a weed drink is like dangerous. Like it's like I'm like, oh crap, it's been 2 hours. Like,
Well, I'm
I
so
did not
bad for like
realize.
during the day, my phone is like work stuff, work time, right?
Yeah.
So then I'll finally like get on my phone in bed at the end of the night, and then that's when I'm just like, I'm just gonna flip through and just like ignore the work stuff and and then I'll be like, just for a few minutes, and then I have these like crime trivia books that I got for my birthday from my parents that I'm like burning through. And I just want to play on them, like play in my books. It was so bad, but I'm like stuck having so much fun in my phone, like over here.
It's one of those things where like they're, and I've said it a few times, like social media is such a drain emotionally that when it gets good, it's just nice.
Yeah. It's such a breath of fresh
It's
air.
why
right?
I honestly still like. There's what's the Facebook page that you're what's going on in Lethbridge?
Yeah.
Like, it's petty of me, but sometimes I just like to go watch people argue. Like I like. Hopefully, it's not a political thing because that is again, it's so infuriating.
Yeah.
But when people are just having the dumbest argument, it's so entertaining. Like I'm like, I could sit here. I mean, the popcorn like gift or whatever
the Michael Jackson
so
one,
true.
right?
It's like I could absolutely sit here and just be entertained by this for a while.
Yeah, there's been some good ones on there, and then there's like the two Lethbridge Roast and Toast groups that have like different admins, and so then they'll like fight about being kicked out of one group, and then how the admins in one group are better than the admins in the other group, and yeah.
We had people. There's like a group.
It's so weird.
There's a group of people at work the other day, and they were talking about roasts and toasts, and it was like how entertaining they are and how much fun they are. And like nobody asked me. I kind of stayed on the outside of it. I hate the roasts and toasts.
Yeah.
Because, and I think it's different for a certain group of people. When you've been roasted in the roast and toast multiple times,
roasted
like,
in
you know,
there,
this
right?
isn't as funny anymore.
No,
like,
it's
this
not.
is. I did like.
When you're roasted in there, it actually sucks because you have no control over stopping it.
Roast to CJOC for letting Jordan sing every morning. Okay, first of all, it's not every morning. Second of all, sorry for trying to provide a little bit of light or fun or something different.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you've been roasted in the roasted toast, yeah, they hit a little differently.
Yeah.
They're not as much fun anymore.
Yeah. And the admins will just let that ride.
There was, it came up in my Facebook memories. It was a few weeks ago, but it was somebody had tagged me, and it was on one of the roast and toast pages, where that's what it was. They're like, roast to Jordan for, and like he sent me the screen cap. There's like 7 of them because there was like 40 comments, and like fortunately, like I went back and I read through. Like, now I'm years removed from it, so I don't like whatever. I don't care anymore. But it was funny at the time because I do remember looking through. I'm like, you know what? Like 65% of the comments are like, I don't know, just if you don't like it, change the station, or
right,
like he's just trying something different. Like, but there were a few where it was like,
yeah, it's so bad.
We should use the firing squad. Like, we should bring back the death penalty. Like,
you're saying we should bring back Tymo?
No, oh god, no, nobody ever went that far. Nobody ever went that far.
It would be Tymo typing that.
Oh. Man, the roast and toast or something.
Oh, one thing I was gonna, when we were texting, talking about things we could talk about, this is one that I forgot to tell you. Do you want to talk about city council? Running for city council?
No.
No?
No. I don't want to get political. And that's straight politics. Do you like the conversation we had? The text conversation?
Yeah. But I want to talk about it a little more.
Okay. Well, you go ahead, and if I get real quiet, then just move on. But I don't know what you want to say. Go ahead.
So I think it's common knowledge that there's like the city council and mayor, like election and stuff this year, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like I just threw you off. Like,
well, I was just making sure that wasn't like a secret.
No,
Okay.
no, there is a municipal
Like,
election.
how do I know that nobody else does? That's not right, right?
In the fall of 2025, there will be a municipal election in the city of Lethbridge. That's pretty public knowledge.
So, it's been brought up twice now by two people that I should run for city council. And I brought it up to Jordan one day, but I brought it up in like a feeling him out kind of way. And he responded with, was it a question of, is it him running for city council? And so I was like, oh, wait, are we both running for city council? Are we co-running? Like, we running together?
Could we? No.
Why can't...
No.
If Blades of Glory could do that...
I have zero interest in doing that whatsoever. Like,
What about co-running?
No. I have zero interest in any of it. So I'm good at
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I feel like it's too... I have the thinnest skin in the world.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I'm not agreeing with you, but in that situation...
Oh, no, you can. We both know it.
Yeah, I think given earlier in the show's conversation about some of the social media, I feel like you would have no filter.
Maybe that's what city council needs.
Maybe. But, like...
Maybe.
But, on the other hand, like, maybe it's just... I don't think...
But am I the person that bring that?
I don't think... I don't think it's the kind of thing either of us would enjoy.
I wouldn't flourish in that.
No.
I have no interest in...
Unless
in
you
politics.
want to, and in that case, I'm fully behind you, whatever you need. I'll voice your ads. You should probably do that.
Voice my own
I'll do
ads.
the part at the end.
You can be my campaign manager. So yeah, you're not gonna
No.
run for council.
Oh, God, no.
You're gonna run for mayor.
No. I'm not gonna run for anything. I don't run on my
I don't like running either.
I don't like running. Not a runner.
All right. Just thought I'd.
Did you how long did you sit there and think about it? Like, how much time did you invest in thinking about the idea?
I've thought about it once somebody put it in my head, it messed with me a little bit. Because I'm one of those people where it's just like, I have zero confidence in myself. And you know that. But then if somebody shows me that maybe I'm a little bit more capable of something than I've thought, well, maybe that there's something there.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe a few more people think that I may be a little bit capable of that. But is there enough people that think I'm capable of that to win a seat at the table?
Yeah.
Still probably not. And I think in this city, I've seen how many other women who I think align with my views have tried to win a seat at city council. I just don't, and haven't stood a chance. Some have won, right?
Boy, but despite my best efforts to stay completely away from politics, we have
I
really
know.
dove in
It's like
today, haven't we?
politics.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Anyway, unless I know, I can't control the outcome.
Nope.
I can't.
That's
This isn't fucking House of Cards.
Nope.
Or Scandal.
Nope.
No, House of Cards didn't turn out good for most people on that show.
I will be your Olivia Pope if you need. Yeah, House of Cards is a bad one to go.
I know.
Yeah.
Like,
Everything about that.
Let's not go Kevin Spacey.
Let's stick with Scandal.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you would be my Olivia Pope and just set this whole thing up from the start.
Could you imagine, like, and I'm not saying you or, like, anybody, like, you decide to run, and I don't know how many, like, because what are there's 6 councillors and mayor? Is that it?
I feel like there's more. I don't want to say 8 or 10.
8? Yeah, because I know it ends up being an odd number. And whatever it is, like,
Thanks,
15
Sandy.
people run for that group, or, like, being the person that gets, like,
Not enough.
4 votes. Or, like,
I
could you imagine, like, the numbers
know.
get published and, like, you're in the papers, like,
Yeah.
and in last place, 4 votes. Like, that would be crushing.
Well, it was like even with the American election when there was like the third name or whatever, and I was just like,
Uh,
oh wait, there is another
yeah.
one. I
Yeah.
didn't even know. I mean, I should have assumed. I should have known, but I had no idea. Yeah. Anyway,
You gotta
sorry.
go to my
No,
list
let's
of
go back
topics here.
to. We didn't even. I mean, we kind of talked a little bit about. Yeah. No, never mind. I don't want to backtrack.
Backtrack if you want, but
I really wanted to go back to my all-time favorite.
SNL?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a little
okay,
bit.
cool.
Okay, so I mean, okay, I think you might know my favorite SNL castmate because she's within the last 15 years.
Yeah, I just, oh my god. And this is the worst thing, because she's one of the best of all time.
I know,
and
right?
her name
We
always
both
escapes
we
me.
both always forget her name.
Because I always think, because
Did
she
you want to say
reminds...
Kristen Wiig?
No,
Oh.
because she reminds me so much of Molly Shannon.
Okay.
But, because she's so physical.
Yeah. Do you just want me to say it?
Yeah, say it.
I can't know because you said Molly Shannon.
Yeah, right?
Why did I have to say
Yeah.
Kristen Wiig?
Yeah.
Frick.
But yes, she's
Kate
like...
McKinnon.
Yes, Kate McKinnon.
Like my
Yes.
husband always talks about, Cody always talks about how, yeah, he's just always, every time we watch her in a movie or watch her in a show, I'm just like, I love her so much.
Yeah.
And he's like, Erin, I get it. You'd leave me for her. I'm like, it's not even that. Like, I fucking love her. She's
The
like,
alien
she
abduction
can't do
skit
anything
is-
wrong. Like, oh, fuck, that is her best. Like,
And then-
she's so great.
And like they bring her in, and you know, like
that smoke that has an ash like this
yeah.
long.
So did you see the redo they did on the 50th?
I might have, but it also might have been like one of the 50 other ones
So
she's
it's
done.
it's Woody Harrelson,
Okay, I saw little pieces of it.
and I can't remember who the other guy is.
Was it Alec Baldwin?
No, but it like anyway, it's two very accomplished, like good comedy, and like Woody Harrelson is the way he just rolls with it. Like he was really good in it.
Because is he the first guy or the second guy?
He's on the far, like if you're looking at them on the far right.
But when she does it, is he the first guy or the second guy?
he's the guy that's not right next to her. He's on the outside.
Okay.
Anyway, so there's the guy in the middle. Whatever. Anyway, they brought in Meryl Streep. I want to.
Maybe I didn't see this.
There's a few of like these iconic actresses that I get mixed up. I think it was Meryl Streep. Anyways, I felt so bad for her because she flubbed a line or two.
Oh.
And it's just like, but I get it. You're sitting in that situation where you're not used to being in, and no matter how accomplished you are, when you're sitting next to Kate McKinnon giving that performance, it gets in your head.
Yeah.
And it was like, you could see that's what was happening.
Yeah.
And it's like, here is one of the most accomplished actresses ever.
Yeah.
And she's rattled by how funny Kate
You
McKinnon
like
is.
Kate McKinnon.
And like everybody out there is trying, like, because everybody knows that skit. Yes, Tina said it was Meryl Streep. Okay, good. Everybody that's sitting around is watching her performance, whether you're an audience member or a cast member at that point. Like,
Yeah.
you're sitting there and like she's just killing it. And
Oh,
she does
yeah.
that also. And this is the one. So we talk about the breaking. She may have like cracked a smile over the years and that, but like she doesn't break really during that skit.
Yeah.
Everybody else around
Everybody
her is
else
breaking
does, yeah.
because of how good she is.
Yeah. Yeah, she's brilliant. I mean, her in Ghostbusters is probably one of my favorites.
I
That
still
she
haven't
does.
seen it.
Oh, really? With
No.
where it's just all females?
Nope.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Yeah, I do want to watch it.
I mean, it's not great, but it's good. It's just such like it's just like a refreshing take on Ghostbusters, I guess. It's silly.
There's so much good stuff.
Who is your all-time favorite?
Cast member?
Yeah.
See, like, I really want to say Adam Sandler,
Mhm.
but I do love Adam Sandler for all the stuff he did basically after Saturday Night
Well, and
Live.
that's kind of the same thing I feel about, like, I wanted to say Adam Sandler, I wanted to say Will Ferrell, but it's the same thing. It's just the stuff I mean, don't get me wrong, yeah, both of them are great on the show, but a lot of the stuff they did afterwards
Yeah.
was more funny.
Also, at my age, like Will Ferrell, I definitely remember watching more on SNL. I was pretty young when Adam Sandler was actually on.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember seeing some of the stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but I would probably have to say Kristen Wiig or Bill Hader.
Bill Hader's really good. Yeah, he's a
Like
good
the
one.
Stefan thing is just like another one they brought back during the 50th was Kristen Wiig when all the sisters come out and she's the first sister with the little
tiny hands.
Oh, again, it's another like the Kate McKinnon thing.
Yeah.
Everybody around her is breaking during that skit because what she's doing is so funny, and they hold it together, and she plays that character so well. It's another one of those characters like you have to bring this back for the 50th.
One thing that bugs me about Bill Hader though is I felt like every year that went by, he just stopped hiding that he was breaking. Like it was like to the point where everything was just breaking, and he just didn't hide it.
So here's a couple things, like how much, like the Stefan stuff especially, right?
Well,
on Weekend Update.
Yes, but that was on purpose. I always thought that he did this on purpose.
Well, that was part of the character, but it got so much more. Like, have you ever heard him talk about the Stefan thing? So, you know who John Mulaney is?
Yeah.
To me, one of the funniest comedians out there.
Yeah.
Like, at the top of stand-up comedy right now. He's out
Real
there.
shitbag to his ex-wife.
He was writing all of the Stefan stuff for Weekend Update.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which, now you look back, you're like, yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
Of course it's going to be really funny. But Bill Hader has said that there's a lot of times where they go through, like, their read-through, and then John would change little things on the cue cards that Bill had never seen before.
Okay.
So it would not only catch him off guard, it would also be hilarious.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of the breaks happen.
That's really funny. I like little stuff.
That's
like
all the
that.
the behind-the-scenes stuff.
That's pretty funny.
I told you I'd have absolutely no standing to do this, but I told you, like, before we went on, like, I've got the itch to do a podcast again.
Yeah.
And it's been, like, a few years since I've done one. I like putting something together.
Yeah.
It would be so cool to do a Saturday Night Live podcast. Like, again, I would not be the person to do that. Like could you imagine, like, every show now, and maybe there is one out there and I just haven't heard of it, but every show, like, does rewatch podcasts and everything. Could you imagine if there's a podcast where, like, 4 or 5 ex-cast members just got together to talk about, like, all the behind-the-scenes stuff that happens and all the different stories? If you had 2 regular hosts and they always brought on different guests from different eras and to hear their stories.
That would be
like,
so cool.
It would be so amazing. Because the stories of, like, which hosts were dicks or which hosts were great, which musical guests, you know, like, there's the history of, like, the Sinead O'Connor thing. Like, some of the musical guests that have really... People that are banned from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Like, hearing the stories from the cast that were there would be incredible.
You know, kind of like what the 2 did from The Office, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, like, there's obviously not as much, like, length to go back.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Saturday Night Live, you obviously have so
the
much
Office
to work
ladies
from.
have been doing what? Like, that podcast has been going for 5-6 years now. Well, more than that, I guess, because there's 9 seasons of the show, and I think like that's a decade-long thing on a 9-year show. Yeah.
Yeah, SNL, if somebody did that, they could go a long ways.
Yeah.
Like, even just, like, a writer, an old writer, or somebody could do it, right? I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to be somebody that was a host or a cast member. I mean, it would be better, but, yeah. If Lauren started it. It would be tough. This chair is so uncomfortable.
Do you want this one?
No, it's okay.
I know you said at the start, like, every time we do this, like, it looks like you can drive a bus between us. Like, are we...
I changed chairs because I was like, it looked so weird. Yeah, there was so much room between us. And then I was like, this chair actually sucks dicks.
I feel like I'm so far away now. Like, I'm leaning back. Oh, it is comfortable.
I know. Well, that's like the one time I did it with Cody. He sat in the rocking chair and then he parked it, like, back at the beginning of the fucking Elway poster. The Elway picture. Like, holy Christ, dude, are you even in the room? Yeah.
I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because you and I have worked together, have been friends for a very long time, and you have done a lot of things that have made me, like, a very happy person. Like, we have absolutely had a great history together, and today I think you probably did the greatest thing that you have ever done for me.
What did I do?
You kicked your dog out of here earlier, and he had the absolute worst dog farts. Like, it was at the point where I told you, I'm like, I might throw up.
It was like
It's stuck in the back of my throat.
I thought it was
I'm gagging thinking about it internally.
first. First thing I did, I changed my clothes because I thought it was my pits. Like
You smell all right.
I went and I stopped eating these garlic olives that I was eating because then I thought it was maybe my breath. And then we figured out because at first, okay, first thing, I thought it was stagnant water because it was by. I smelled it the first time by some plants that I had watered. Excuse me. I have like so many burps from this stuck in my.
Yeah.
I just need to get them out.
Unless you're thinking of that farts now that your dog,
I'm
it
gagging,
just stuck
yeah.
in your throat. Yeah, no, it's.
I was by first time I smelled it was by some plants that I'd watered earlier this week, and I thought, oh, maybe there's some water like standing in the bottom of like the tray, but I didn't look because like it kind of went away the longer I stood there. So I was like, oh, I got used to it or whatever. But then I smelled it again a little while later. So I was like, oh, maybe it was me and it's my clothes. So I changed before you got here. Then I smelled it again, but I was eating all those garlic stuffed olives. So when I put them away, so I was like, well, I'm not going to bring those down here because you're going to think that's disgusting.
Also, thank you for not doing that. That's the second greatest thing you've ever done for me.
And then the dog was in here, ass pointed right between us, and he must have let one rip because, like, all of a sudden it was just like,
Oh yeah.
sewage, straight sewage. It's so bad.
Dog farts are the worst. Like, I would rather change 1,000 dirty diapers than sit there in a room
It's so bad.
with no sort of ventilation
Yeah.
with a dog farting.
Yeah.
It is so bad.
Like I lit a candle.
Dogs, yeah.
Like it was
As
nasty.
much as I love our dogs, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Bubba maybe farts. He must.
Yeah, of course.
Never notice it. Gunner,
Yeah.
oh my god. Gunner is the most rancid farting dog ever.
I even said the other day to one of the kids, oh, it must have been Nash, because Nash has been home all week. But I was just like, you eat the same thing, Rocky, like every day. What? Like some days you're fine for like,
Yeah.
well, some weeks you're
Yeah.
fine, like right? Like but then what do you get into? Like there's nothing. We don't give you anything different. Like we are right now trying to figure out what you're allergic to in your diet. You're eating the same food and no treats.
Yeah.
Like what is it?
Tina literally got to the point where like she orders these special like treats.
Yeah.
They look like food, but we give Gunner like 5 or 6 in his bowl every morning to try and tone down whatever's going on in his gut. And it works for the most part.
Yeah.
The backyard cleanups are a lot better. Everything's a lot more solidified,
Yeah.
if you understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying. But the farts every now and then, I'm like so happy in our basement that Tina always sits at the end of the couch near Gunner.
Oh God.
Because Tina will be sitting there watching, so she'll be like, oh, Gunner. I'm like, all right, I got about 3 minutes until this hits.
Right? Because it always catches everyone.
It's always a little bit more toned down at my end of the couch, I feel like. Like, I don't get the full impact of it. It's like I'm outside of the blast zone. Like,
Yeah.
there's the radius
Yeah.
where it's going to be really
You're
bad.
gonna get a tiny bit of
yeah,
fallout.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, dogs are the best and worst.
Yeah, because I always say like puppy farts, but puppy farts really just turn into grown-up dog farts.
Gunner's never not been a puppy farter. That's for
Yeah.
sure. That always
Yeah,
stuck with
grown-up
him.
dog farts are the worst.
Have you watched anything good on stream lately?
So White Lotus came back. I don't think that's a show you ever watched, was it?
No, but
Yeah.
there's one of the girls at work keeps telling me, she's like, it's Severance and White Lotus. She's like, you've got to watch both these because I need somebody else to talk to about them.
I don't watch Severance.
I've heard really good things.
Is that on Apple TV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Is that the
Adam
one
Scott.
that you? Oh, okay, yeah.
No, Shrinking is the one I told you about.
Yeah.
Which is so
which is
good.
also on Apple TV though.
Did you ever watch Shrinking?
That's the one I think I said I watched maybe 1 or 2 episodes of the first season, and then
Yeah.
just didn't. No, White Lotus started again. Excuse me. This drink is like
Yeah, it's really getting
killing
to you.
me. Holy.
Yeah. Good thing there's not dog farts in here.
He's like right outside the door huffing and like whining.
We put a towel underneath though so it can't seep in.
I have been blasting through the latest season of Love is Blind. what else have I been watching lately? I'm really racking these up for you. I feel like I haven't sent you anything good in a long time.
No, we've been.
It's been pretty lowly.
So we did Landman, which is
that
the
Billy Bob Thornton? Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw bits and pieces of it because Cody was watching it.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. And then because we liked that so much, and it's the same guy writes that and Yellowstone. I know.
Yellowstone is on my list now that it's on
so Tina and
Netflix.
I, like, what are there, 5 seasons of that? We blew.
Oh, I thought there was
5.
way more.
There was a little bit of time where the kids were gone for a week. School was out, so they were up with Tina's parents. So we watched a lot of Yellowstone that week.
Yeah, no kidding.
We got through 5 seasons of that. Okay. Do you know what Shoresy is?
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
We watched. I watched. I think most of the first season, and then I think I decided I liked Letterkenny better.
Really?
Yeah, and then just didn't follow through with
Oh
Shoresy.
my god, Shoresy. Like, Shoresy to me. Oh, I really got to watch what I say here in this country. Shoresy might be the greatest Canadian television show ever created. Tina might say Schitt's Creek.
I was just gonna punch you because there is Schitt's Creek.
Corner Gas is huge, and like I do. To be
honest,
fair,
I've never really sat down to watch Corner Gas.
Neither have I.
I mean, like it's been on,
Yeah,
and I've been to the town.
Yeah, me too. I never watched SCTV. Like it's way before my time.
It was like probably right during my time. Other kids that I went to school with watched it.
Yeah, and I don't want to take anything away from it.
I don't know if we didn't have the channel or I just didn't watch it. Like I don't know what.
And it obviously spawned
everything.
Massive stars.
Yeah,
and so many went on to SNL and passed. But Shoresy is like it's a hockey show.
Yeah.
You don't need to know anything about hockey.
No, because it's right. It's beyond that,
the
right?
Writing,
you don't need to know
the quick hits, the one-liners, everything is. Oh my god! Like it is so funny, and the greatest thing to me about it, it's also the worst thing, because the new season just came out. Every season has 6 episodes, and they're 22 minutes long. It's like you can watch an entire season in what it takes to watch a 2-hour movie.
I know.
It's like, which sucks because we binged a season of it on like Sunday afternoon.
Do they just drop it all in one go, like the whole season?
I can't remember if they did that at the start in the first couple seasons, but now they'll drop 2 episodes and then 1 every Friday.
Okay.
For 5 weeks or whatever. So we waited until it's all there.
Yeah.
It is so funny. It is so well written. It is definitely, like, do not watch it with kids.
Yeah.
Do not watch it with family members that you don't want to hear sexual innuendo and stuff. But, like, it is so funny. And
really,
Tina's not the biggest hockey fan.
Yeah.
Tina laughs so hard at that show.
Okay. Because,
like, watch it. Invest the time. It's not much time.
Yeah.
And it just, the characters grow on you. It's so funny.
Really? I always just thought it was a spin-off from Letterkenny.
Well, it's the same guy.
Yeah.
And Shoresy was a character in Letterkenny.
Yeah.
And then they made their own show. To me, Shoresy is better than Letterkenny. And I like Letterkenny. It's really good. But to me, Shoresy is better. It's not even close.
I mean, it's on Crave, right? I mean, I can just watch it. That was like the same kind of thing with White Lotus and with... there was another show when you were talking that I was thinking that did that, where they just kind of... Oh, The Bear. Where it was like... They just, all of a sudden, it was just like, here, world, here is 2 full, complete seasons.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's just like, and now here's the 3rd season, 1 week at a time.
Yeah.
Right? And then we're going to make you wait a year and a half for another season. Like, what the fuck? Like, so yeah. So now White Lotus is starting. And I was like, Mom, I don't even know, honestly, if this show comes out a whole season at once or if it's 1 week at a time. And then when the first Sunday night was over, when I was at my parents' house, I was like, oh, turns out it's 1 week at a time show. That kind of stuff.
I hate, look, that's what cable was for.
I know,
that's
right?
What we all spent years. How many people waited for every Thursday night to see Friends, and then you get a cliffhanger where like you're waiting 4 months or whatever it is to find out what happens
till
to
summer's
the character,
over and fall sweeps come along.
Did they get on the plane or off the plane, or were they were on a break, right?
Yeah,
I always heard they were on a break. I never watched all of Friends, but what? I tried over COVID, and I binged way too many seasons back to back to back, and I just kind of got sick of it. It was still good, but I just watched way too much of it at once. But
this is the part you should be careful about saying.
And then we went to where everything was okay. Mm-hmm. Netflix is dropping a season of whatever at a time, and everything was out there. And now it's gone back to these streaming services are releasing things 1 week at a time. It's like,
making us watch commercials.
Yeah, we did this. How much do I have to pay Netflix a month so I don't have to see a 30-second ad?
Yeah.
Because I think it started at $7.99, and now I'm paying like $23 a month.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just saw an email from ours, and it's just like, if you click this button in this email, you are accepting this new price for a whole new year. And I was like, delete.
And of course you got me. Like, of course I'm going to pay it.
I know.
I'm not watching commercials, but you're still not... we love Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I think it's been like 2.5 years since the last half season came out, and we're waiting for the finale.
This is supposed to be the last half of the season this
year. What are we doing?
When?
What are we... Apparently, the main dude started a band in the process, and he's making... Tina was showing me a clip, because the teenage guy that works... He was the older one that everybody kind of looked up to. Do you remember that guy? Shaggy hair.
Yeah.
He was dating
the one that
the sister of the other one.
Yeah.
He's got a band and has he's been able in the
time
they've been off. He started a successful music career. That's how long they've taken off.
Stranger Things launched his music career.
Apparently.
Now he has to go slum it back on TV.
Like I don't even remember what happened in the last season.
He's the one that everybody was so sad at the end of the last season because he was like fucking Johnny Rocker or whatever, right? Like, are you talking about that guy?
No, that guy was only in the one season, right?
Oh, am I thinking of 2 seasons ago then?
I don't know.
No.
Who was the super dark dude that lived in like the motor, or not the motorhome, like in the trailer?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, not him.
Oh, okay.
The other guy. The one that worked at the ice cream shop with the girl. That was also kind of hair.
But he's dating like the.
I think we lost the plot.
We need to go back and rewatch. This podcast is done. We gotta go back.
That guy has a music career. He's had so much time off between doing this, like a half season of a show, that he started a music career.
He's gonna be on like Coachella this summer.
Yeah, they might not get him back. He's busy. He can't film.
I wouldn't blame him. Yeah.
He also may have died. I can't remember.
Wow.
You didn't think we'd make it an hour.
Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
Thank God for Tina. Tina's like our fact checker.
Yeah.
We just come on here and spout shit.
Yeah. Yeah. The uneven bars.
Yeah.
Meryl Streep. Steve.
We need Tina. Oh, man.
Does she know all this off the top of her head, or is she using Google a lot tonight?
She probably does know it off the top of her head.
I think she does.
Yeah.
I know her pretty well. You seem like things she'd know. This is why
she even knew there was an SNL podcast.
Yeah. Well, it's
like a side podcast.
It's because she's told me about that.
Yeah.
It's the Lonely Island guys, and
she just texted me Magic 8 Ball.
I hope. Not likely.
It's a little vague. Try again later. My sister had a Magic 8 Ball, and I was like so sad that that was the song she texted me, not just a Magic 8 Ball.
Oh.
I
should know that because she texted me that song the other day.
I shouldn't have opened it on my watch.
Yeah, it's a song.
Yeah, my sister had a Magic 8 Ball, and it was always so sad that I never had one.
It would be
like it was a real
funnier
thing.
If she did have a Magic 8 Ball.
Who, Tina?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how she was like.
The signs are
Meryl Streep. There is an SNL podcast.
Just Steve.
She has the most descriptive 8 Ball ever. Magic 8 Ball.
Yeah, for those of you
An 8 Ball's a different kind of thing.
Yeah. We're just talking about the toy.
Yeah, not the pool game.
Yeah.
Or the other.
The bag.
Well,
Oh, we were gonna talk about my Christmas quick.
okay. So I do have like another thing too.
Yeah, go for it.
Is this the point where you feel comfortable enough for me to go pee and then come back?
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Okay.
Just watch out for my dog. He might already be in there.
Oh, God. On the toilet?
Yeah.
Clearing some stuff
Yeah.
out.
He's blocking the door.
Sitting right at the door.
I guarantee he's right there.
He's around.
Yeah, he's right there. I saw his shadow. He's like the groundhog. I can hear my poor dog whining. I think I'm rosy cheeked. Like I am. This beer is kicking my ass. I shouldn't have drank this. It's kicking my ass and taking my name. I should have had my Monster Energy instead of a grape flavored beer. See, I'll have a Tahiti treat. Rocky, you're fine. Oh, that smells like a breezy. And it has way less carbonation in it. One of these has dirt on them. So, what's new with everyone? What's everybody doing tonight? How's it going? Who's all in the room?
Kept Rocky out.
I know, and he was whining like crazy.
Yeah, he was.
Probably whining for you.
He was having a conversation.
Oh, maybe he was answering me.
Your bathroom toilet down here.
Oh, it needs to be cleaned. Oh, I was going to do that before you came here.
No, not that at all.
Oh.
It was fine. It flushes like a gas station bathroom toilet. Like it's violent. Like there's so much water pressure.
You just push the button.
No, that's what I did, but it's like it's loud.
Yeah, it's like it's a very, very deep. Well, I think it's because the water has so far down to go. Because like it's a quite deep very toilet, deep toilet. Yeah. Which is why I think it gets dirty so fast. Is because there's like just a little bit of water in such like a small area.
Yeah.
Science.
Cool.
Anyway,
Christmas away.
Yeah. Well, it was. I asked you earlier, like, would you ever do a Christmas away?
No.
Is that just because you don't like to travel?
No, I don't mind traveling. I've traveled lots.
Is it because you don't like the idea of not being home for Christmas?
Yeah. And like, I don't have to be in our house, but I want to be at my parents' house, or Tina's parents' house, or my brother's. I want to be with my family, and like, I don't want to be with my family in Cancun, or like, I want to be with my family here. I don't know why. I can't explain it, but I just feel that way. I mean, I have no problem with it. Everybody can choose to do what they do, and obviously, you had a really good experience.
I would do it every year.
Yeah,
I would.
Why? Like what?
Not having, like, say 72 hours of like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, just being like, boom, boom, boom. You need to do this, be here, go wear this at this time.
Yeah.
Just that kills me every year.
I can see that.
And it does at Thanksgiving, it does at Easter, it does pretty much those 3 holidays.
So I think the big difference is like our situations are so different. Like at Christmas, how many families are you seeing?
3.
1.
Yeah.
Because like we have a year with my side, and then the next year's with Tina's side.
Yeah.
And whether that's up at her family's place or like or we're hosting, whatever, There is no rush to go see anybody else. There is no like on Christmas Eve you're with this family, Christmas Day you're with this family, Boxing Day you need to be here. It's all in one place. It's all contained for a number of days, and that's. I can see with what you're saying. If we had to make that work, if our families were all right in this, and I know your parents travel a bit, but like if you have multiple families to see in a very short period of time, I can see where that would be an issue.
Like even growing up with like my dad's side of the family like being half an hour away and my mom's side of the family being like in town, we would do Christmas with like my mom's side and then like Boxing Day with my dad's side, and then we would switch, and then like so like it didn't matter and somehow it like just it always seemed to flow, like even with like extended family. It was just like all the families in the world knew how to like just like in sync all together somehow, or it just as a kid like that was just like the Christmas magic worked out, right? Like I don't know what it was, like it just seemed to work out so great. And then as I've grown older, we haven't found our Christmas magic sync. I don't know what it is, and just have had some tough Christmas seasons, like stuff happen around Christmas, and it's just it was just time to get the heck out of Dodge. And I would even though like it wasn't the Christmas I envisioned, like it didn't go how I had mentally envisioned it, and I realized that very quickly that was a pipe dream. There was no way that was gonna, like, there was no world in which I was going to just lay by the pool and my kids were going to splash happily in the water by themselves and never come talk to me while I read a book. Like that wasn't a thing, right? Like they are up my ass 24/7, and I couldn't even read a book on the plane because Nash had to go pee every 5 minutes, and it was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like it's like but I mean, as a kid, like I can't be like no, like I'm like okay, well let's go, right? Like oh yeah, and like if they want me to take their life jacket off, okay, I'll take it off. You want that life jacket back on? Like okay, I'll put it back on. Like you don't want to be at this pool? Okay, let's go have some lunch. Okay, you don't want to eat the buffet? Then let's go back to the hotel room and you can just sit on the bed and be grounded. I don't even care. Whatever. I'll ground you in the Dominican. I don't give a shit. So it was just, it didn't go according to what I had envisioned, but it's still, at the end of the day,
you did a great job of selling it there. It sounded awesome.
It was better than...
Maybe we should rethink this whole thing.
I would do that again. It was just easier. It was easier on me mentally. I don't know that it was easier on my husband or my family, but selfishly for me, it was. Like, we won't do that again this year. Like, financially, we can't afford that, right? Like, financially, that's ridiculous. I mean, I am super jealous of any family that or people who can do that and choose to do that, I guess. I mean, good for them, but I also will never go back to the Dominican again. Like,
just, was it your resort? Or was it the area?
Okay, so our resort, I will never ever tell anybody to go to that resort. And I even told our travel agent what was wrong with it, and she said she put it across all other Expedia cruise ship like resort or Expedia cruise ship agencies to not use that resort because of like what Sunwing did to us, because Sunwing was doing like dirty dog tricks.
Do you want to talk about it, or are you...
No, because I'm gonna get sued by Sunwing.
Yeah, that's probably maybe you would make a good politician. You should run for council.
Yeah, Sunwing pulled some shady stuff on us, and they weren't.
Now you're talking about
it.
Well,
they weren't 100% truthful with like the travel agency on what they were doing, and it was like here's a monetary gift, like in resort whatever to your client for using us, and we knew obviously there would be some kind of thing attached to it. Right, yeah. And so when we went into the catch, because right, $300, that's pretty good, right? Like for resort cash. So when they told us what it was going to be for, we were like, yep, we want that. We're going to go. We're going to use it on this day. Yep, let's do it on this day, this time. They're like, okay. And then at the end of it, they were just like, oh no, you can't use it that today. And we were just like, okay, we'll come back tomorrow. And so then I went back tomorrow, and the lady was like, oh no, you can't book it here with me. Like, it literally says on this paper to come to book it with you. And she's like, no, you have to go to here to book this part and to there to book this part. And I just fucking started bawling. Like, I created a scene. I was the scene in the nice hotel. Like, and the girl's like, Mama, no! Mama, no!
I love that 90 seconds ago you said you didn't want to go into this, and now, like, outside of two minor details, everybody knows everything that was part of this.
Yeah.
No, I don't want it. Well, but they did, kind of.
So she's like, well, you can book it for, I was like, I need to book it for, like, tomorrow then. And she's like, well, we can book it for the 26th. I'm like, I'm leaving on the 26th. Like, I can't. Like, it just, no, like, this, you made me go through this whole fucking dog and pony show, and it ended up being for nothing. And so, yeah, anyway.
So you wouldn't go back to that resort.
So that resort.
You likely wouldn't go to the Dominican, but you would spend Christmas away again.
Yeah, the Dominican, there's nothing wrong with the Dominican. It was like, you can see that it has its flaws, and that's just because it's an island, right?
They
like,
all do, don't they?
Yeah, it suffers because it's an island, so, like, things have to get shipped there, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, fuel and food and everything, like, is more expensive, and they are a poor country because of that. But I'm glad that I went, because otherwise I would have always been like, oh, I want to go to the Dominican, right? Just like,
yeah,
like somebody said, like, well, that's why I went to Cuba, but I would never go back, right?
Yeah.
But I just prefer Mexico.
Yeah.
Right?
I've done 2 of the radio station all-inclusives in Mexico and 1 in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And both locations, or like both Mexican locations, and then the Jamaican one, they were great. Nothing bad to say. Food is what it is.
Yeah.
But it was great. But like the Christmas away thing. So this is like my situation. I feel like is also very different because not only growing up did we not have to do like a bunch of different families. We never had any family because like my mom and dad's families both were out in Saskatchewan and we were out in BC.
Oh, okay.
So my Christmases growing up were my mom, my dad, my brother, and I.
Yeah.
Occasion, I think twice we were out in Moose Jaw, and once we may have had family come out. Other than that, it was always just the 4 of us. So COVID Christmas, when it was just, like, I love seeing my family at Christmas. I love having Tina's family around. I get but there was something really magical to me about that Christmas.
Yeah.
Because that's how I grew up.
Yeah.
It was just like, Christmas morning, my brother and I would get whatever, like some new goalie pads, and then the World Juniors would start the next day. We'd be out playing street hockey in the intermissions, like that. It was the 4 of us. My dad always did like the big meal, like he cooked. Like I love to cook at Christmas. And it just, I don't know. That's to me, like part of the magic of it is just being around with the people that you are closest with during that time of year. So that's what you were. You were just somewhere else doing it, right?
Yeah.
Like it's,
it was our family. It was just in a different spot.
Yeah, you're not pressured to go everywhere else. You're not pressured to, And like at that time of year, like your kids open presents on Christmas morning.
Yeah.
And then you're rushing them out the door to go see family. Like they don't even get to like it's
but
there's
that's
something
the thing,
that quiet thing where you're just around and they get to your kids. To me, that's what it's always about. Christmas is about the kids.
Yeah.
And so if they're opening Christmas gifts and then you're rushing them out the door a couple hours later to go see somebody else, and you're I don't know. It's just so nice to be at home, to be quiet, to
let them play with their presents.
Yeah,
right?
and having their cousins around stuff's great. Like, and if I could host Christmas every year, I would gladly eat the cost of doing that. I would pay for all the food, like have everybody in. If I never had to have my kids be away from home on Christmas.
Yeah. Actually, I not to say that Thanksgiving and Christmas are the same, but I enjoyed the years that I've hosted Thanksgiving just because I liked having it at my house. I liked cooking the whole meal. I liked having to not bring food to someone else's house. I liked just having the people, come to my house and just, let me just, I know everything's taken care of. I don't have to worry about what I have to bring, right? Like, just, just let me worry about it all. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's different, obviously, but it's kind of the same. It was funny because when we were done our holiday, we would ask the kids, what was your favorite part about holiday? What was your favorite part about the vacation? And our daughter would say, like, oh, the pool, or, like the nighttime shows. And our son, every time, he'd just be like, my presents. Like, my presents.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's always about the gifts. Yeah. Can't get one past him. Like, nope. He is a present boy. Yeah. He's a gift kid.
That's good.
Yeah. All right.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
Good.
Had a good time.
It was fun.
It was fun. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
Let's not wait so long next time. What was it? Halloween?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was Halloween because you wouldn't wear a costume.
Oh, yeah.
So, usually November, December,
do one every
January,
quarter?
February. Yeah.
Well, 3 months?
Yeah.
Not too long.
Well, I mean, if you're going to start your own.
Wow. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I got some ideas.
Can't have competition.
I got some ideas, bro. I might reach out to Seth Meyers and see if I can steal that.
Isn't it just easier to do it like this? Like, yours is so different because yours is so produced,
I know,
right?
I love that.
Yours is so well
I like this
orchestrated.
because it is so, like, it's just
free.
Yeah.
Mine takes 20 minutes to set up. Like, and that's not like, it's not like, oh, like, la-di-da. Mine takes 20 minutes to set up. Mine takes 20 minutes to set up because it should take 4.
Yeah.
Like, it's not.
There's always a button we forget to hit.
Like, it's just
and
like,
it's, once we figure that out,
we go in circles for 20 minutes, and then 30 seconds, Jordan figures it out finally.
Mine's 6 days of texts and pre-production and
but it's beautiful.
You are.
But there's no video.
Yeah, there is.
Sometimes.
Well, yeah. I had an old laptop that didn't work very well, so I didn't have all this fancy stuff here.
It's fancy.
It's got 3 microphones,
it's not
2
fancy.
cameras.
Yeah. And snacks.
Snacks. I always have snacks.
You told me I couldn't bring my olives down.
That's true. I did say no to the olives.
And the icy
and the
squares.
farting dog.
I offered you icy squares at the beginning.
I'll have an icy square once we click off here.
All right. Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.